Hexavia is more like collection of ideas, sharing of ideas. How do we grow the economy of this country and grow our own economy as individuals? That's what Hexavia is all about.
And Hexavia is a team of young, sound, creative minds who are the best in business development, enterprise, and project management. In the last 4 years, we've spent the last set of years developing platforms, businesses, as well as world-class brands and people. We have a lot of track records to be proud of. And most importantly, we're trying to take Nigerian businesses to being world-class brands for local people.
Hexavia is an idea that spawns ideas. That's what it really is. Hexavia is run by young Nigerians for Nigerians. Everything about Hexavia is homegrown. It's idea about Nigerian businesses, Nigerian industries. How do we groom the next generation of entrepreneurs? How do we make the workers of today, next generation of senior managers that will take this country into the next phase of our development? Every economy that has developed on the back of their entrepreneurs. Look at what the Chinese are doing. It's because they have so many, they've encouraged entrepreneurship in their system. Look at the Indians, they've done it successfully. South Koreans have done it successfully. There is no reason why we shouldn't do it. And that's what Hexavia is all about. So Hexavia is grooming the next set of entrepreneurs so that we can take this country from where it is now to where we want it to be. It's not government funded. It's not anybody funded. It's a completely private institution that is grooming the next set. In some other countries like the Chinese, it's government sets the rules and help people to become entrepreneurs. In some others like ours, government really don't do much for you to become entrepreneurs, so we have to do it for ourselves. And that's what Hexavia is all about. It's about sharing ideas, about generating ideas, about grooming the next set of entrepreneurs and next set of managers that will manage this economy.
I got a few mails, correspondences with important and interesting information, and I needed to know what they were about. Then besides that, I heard about the masterclass. I was also attending the last Potter's lounge, but I couldn't make it. But I think learning is something everybody should do and should invest in. So I thought, for the work I do, for what I want to become in future, all of that, if I want to impact people, you need to learn. And this was an opportunity to learn. Was just giving up an entire Saturday and some thousands that I could live with. So that's why I'm here.
I'm here at the Hexavia Masterclass because I want to learn more about the laws of business, because business is life in its own certain way. I want to learn how to be able to grow, groom, and develop my business, to be able to add value, empower people, and make a difference in the society.
I'm in a point in my business where I discovered that I need much more than I have now, and that is information. I happened to listen to a program, and from the program I got to know about this class. So I'm here basically because I want more information that I know can move me forward, particularly in the business I do.
The Hexavian Laws of Business is a collection of timeless principles, extremely deep principles that will help businesses turn into world-class brands. As a matter of fact, the idea is to move ideas into prospects, into projects, and most importantly, products that will become profitable as businesses and then become world-class brands for local people. We spent 3-4 years trying to understand why businesses fail in this part of the world, and as well as having a case study and understanding of the few businesses that have been able to succeed. So the most important thing is what are those entities that you need? What are those factors? What are those principles? Are there laws to business? Is there things that people fail, and then on the ripple effect, it causes a downfall of their businesses or their ideas? Principles like vision, like branding, like purpose, like generosity, like profitability, like demography, strategy, management, creativity, innovations, legacy. Those are all laws that people do not understand. And if you understand the core of all that, you need to understand how to add value profitably, and there are basic steps you need to understand. So the Hexavian Laws of Business is a collection of each of these factors, fundamental across borders, irrespective of your industry or what you're trying to create. There are laws, there are principles, like underlining enterprise baselines, that if you understand those principles, there is no way you would not succeed. So we put them all in the book. It's a book that we're about to release. It's also a feedback as well as a result of years of study, years of research, and also years of theory formulations that we have found true and fundamentally very upright?
Well, I have a half full jotter already because I scribble a lot. I like the 21 laws from the first time I saw it, and I've been waiting for the book. So the opportunity to hear the details of it was one, and I've heard, up to like law 9 or 10. I think one of the major things I've learned is the fact that you need people in whatever it is you want to do, and you need to manage people. You need to nurture relationships to get to where it is you want. It's also a class of people. My master class, it's actually a class of interesting people. So I also learned from people's life experiences, what they do. There are a few other bankers too there. So I think I've learned a lot.
Well, what I've learned basically is that I need to learn, and I will explain that. I need to unlearn, and I need to relearn. Today won't be the first time I have heard that phrase, but today's learning or today's program actually threw more light into it. So I have learned today that I don't get to a point in my life or my business that I think I am comfortable. I have been told that when I get to a place I call success or my stop of success, I need to continuously continuously look forward to more of what I have gotten, so that I don't, begin to sink. Because where I call my own zenith could actually be another person's starting point. That's why I'm here.
What I've learned at the Hexavia Masterclass, a lot, absolutely a lot. We've learned the Hexavian laws of business. We've learned to apply it to life and to business, and we've found a way to merge everything together. We learned about vision, mission, character, purpose, the law of sacrifice. These things are things you can actually apply to life. But in business, they are very important because they help grow your business. We've learned the law of value, the ability to add value, which is the core ingredient that should be the reason why anybody starts a business. It's been absolutely an interesting experience. I haven't even felt the time go by, and when I look at the time, I'm like, wow, time has gone so much, because it's a very, very, very lovely experience.
I've heard of vision a lot. Where I work, I hear about vision a lot. So that's come up with, but it was a little more espoused here. You need to see what it is you want to become. You cannot feature in a future you cannot picture. It's a phrase I picked here today, and I cannot. So I think the major thing for me was vision, and I think the major challenge we have in Nigeria is that people are not visionary anymore. Everybody's bound to the time that we are in. Get what I can from now, move on to the next thing, and people don't see beyond the next 2-3 years. Maybe let's talk of 5 or 10. So I think that's the major thing I've picked. I think everybody needs to learn to align themselves with that. I also like the organization Hexavia. It's presented itself as a serious-minded organization. So even if you don't learn anything else, at least you learn how, to be a serious-minded organization and to harness people's potentials and put it together in one room. Yeah, very cool.
The idea you generate from Hexavia can be applied across all aspects of the economy, from government to private institutions, to non-governmental organizations. You can apply it everywhere. Make things a lot more efficient than they are today. Make things lot more worthwhile than they are today. And the economy could grow from that. And everybody should benefit.
From 1999, or should I go back a bit to the late or to the early 90s, we've been having high-end cases of unemployment. I think last time I checked, we have over 170 million people in Nigeria. 45% covers youth. About 80,000, 108,000 graduates are churned out from our universities every year, year in, year out. And the numbers of companies being raised, being floated, is not meeting these needs. So how do we combat this? Do we still wait on the federal government, or do we start creating businesses? Do we start looking for needs to solve? Do we start looking for value to add? Do we start looking for holes to plug and bring out services out of it? Hence, Hexavia was brought.
first of all, you want to start a business, you need to get it right. You need to be able to understand the purpose, the core of which you're starting a business. Businesses don't succeed if you started off just trying to make profit. You need to understand how to add value, tremendous value. And it has to be something you're very good at, or at least you're willing to have a good aptitude to learn and to unlearn, and then to relearn and grow that great brand. So first of all, it's the purpose, it's the knowledge, it's the principles, then it's the value, which is most important in all of them. You need to be able to add tremendous value at what you do, enough to convert that into profit, because in reality, profit is just a reward for what you do. So the first thing I need to explain to people, or people need to know, is the fact that first of all, you need to have value, tangible value to offer to people. And it's now the steps to how to make that value extremely profitable. And the basic steps, you need to understand project management, you need to understand branding, you need to understand strategy, you need to have a great team, especially if you want to build a good and powerful brand. It is very, very important that you do that. It's key that people understand that. Understand the basic steps. The step, first of all, you have value. You turn that value into an idea. That idea sprouts from a need. And that need always comes from problems, because problems are the unit of businesses. When you can provide solutions to businesses, you already have a good platform to turn that into business. So you need to be able to spot out a challenge, convert that challenge into a solution, then package that solution by strategy, by baseline, a product, as a product, and then sell it off to people as products that will turn out to become your business. And don't stop at you just making profit for business. Be able to build a world-class brand. Don't be good enough. Be great at what you do. Be powerful. Have social capital. Have a great brand that people can associate with. It's extremely important.
As an entrepreneur, you must have a vision and a mission. To know you have a vision and a mission, and you can succeed in what you're doing. And of course, an unquenchable passion. You must believe in what you're doing. And you must be able to sink all the boat around you, knowing that you're not going anywhere. And so whatever you're doing has to succeed. Not just in entrepreneurship, even as an employee. You must believe in what you're doing for your employers for you to be able to succeed. It's when the employers succeed that you, as an employee, succeed. That the economy will grow. It's futuristic to think about entrepreneurs, but if you really think about it, all the big businesses we have today were once entrepreneurial, and they're still entrepreneurial, just like they're bigger now. And so everybody in those businesses have to think of their work as entrepreneurial. And that's some of the things you get from the Hexavia laws of business. Okay, so you must have vision, a mission, and passion for what you do. After that, every other thing becomes secondary. Even the funds become secondary, because they will come when you have all of that. Those three things I've mentioned: mission, vision, passion.
I think the major fear like I said, I work in the bank. The major common fear I see is people say there's no capital to start the business, and I don't think every business requires capital. I think some businesses you can start off, taking off people, taking orders from you, using your money to buy, bringing it back. So that's the simple way to start a business. So I think the major fear people have is capital. A lot of people are also worried about would they buy my products? Would I pay too much tax? But I think the major thing people need to do is to know about the business, to know about what it is they want to do. Once they know that, and they should be able to know how to navigate the waters, because there's no free lunch, even in Freetown. So
how we apply what we've learned at the Xavier's masterclass to business is simple. At the same time, not as simple as it seems. Create a mission, your vision, dream big. Everybody can dream, but how big is your dream? Dream big, start small. Character, what you do every day. These are basic things that help us grow in life, one step or the other. So we can apply them by just doing them, following them. We learned about sacrifice. You have to be able to sacrifice to move to the next level. And the basic things, even in religion, faith, and biblical studies and everything else, sacrifice is an absolute in everything. Sacrifice is really, really key. And the ability to deal with the fear, to jump into that blue ocean to make a difference in business and add value, really. Those are absolutely wonderful things that we've learned, and we need to be able to practicalize them, to add value, make a difference. Yeah.
Well, the beauty of any student, I call myself a student today because I'm in a classroom, is to be able to apply what you have learned. So when I get back, number one, I'm going to do a real assessment of my business. I had started that about a month and a half ago, and I know where I've gotten to. But there are some practical things that I haven't done. One of which is to be able to actually, strategize by knowing what I want, not in my mind, but in black and white. And then with that is, some people call it business plan or whatever you call it. Then I'm going to do that more. I did what I thought was a business plan, but I discovered from this class that is not really a business plan, that I actually need to be more thorough. So I have learned that, number one, I'm going to go back and actually do a proper business plan. Then I've learned
Hexavia, it's more like collection of ideas, sharing of ideas. How do we grow the economy of this country and grow our own economy as individuals? That's what Hexavia is all about.
And Hexavia is a team of young, sound, creative minds who are the best in business development, enterprise, and project management. In the last 4 years, we've spent the last set of years developing platforms, businesses, as well as world-class brands and people. We have a lot of track records to be proud of. And most importantly, we're trying to take Nigerian businesses to being world-class brands for local people.
Hexavia is an idea that spawns ideas. That's what it really is. Hexavia is run by young Nigerians for Nigerians. Everything about Hexavia is homegrown. It's an idea about Nigerian businesses, Nigerian industries. How do we groom the next generation of entrepreneurs? How do we make the workers of today, the next generation of senior managers that will take this country into the next phase of our development? Every economy that has developed on the back of their entrepreneurs. Look at what the Chinese are doing. It's because they have so many, they've encouraged entrepreneurship in their system. Look at the Indians, they've done it successfully. South Koreans have done it successfully. There is no reason why we shouldn't do it. And that's what Hexavia is all about. So Hexavia is grooming the next set of entrepreneurs so that we can take this country from where it is now to where we want it to be. It's not government funded, it's not anybody funded, it's a completely private institution that is grooming the next set. In some other countries like the Chinese, it's government sets the rules and help people to become entrepreneurs. In some others like ours, government really don't do much for you to become entrepreneurs, so we have to do it for ourselves. And that's what Hexavia is all about. It's about sharing ideas, about generating ideas, about grooming the next set of entrepreneurs and next set of managers that will manage this economy.
I got a few mails, correspondences with important and interesting information, and I needed to know what they were about. Then besides that, I heard about the master class. I was also attending the last Porter's lounge, but I couldn't make it. But I think learning is something everybody should do and should invest in. So I thought, for the work I do, for what I want to become in future, all of that, if I want to impact people, you need to learn. And this was an opportunity to learn. Was just giving up an entire Saturday and some thousands that I could live with. So that's why I'm here.
I'm here at the Hexavia Masterclass because I want to learn more about the laws of business, because business is life in its own certain way. I want to learn how to be able to grow, groom, and develop my business, to be able to add value, empower people, and make a difference in the society.
I'm in a point in my business where I discovered that I need much more than I have now, and that is information. I happened to listen to a program, and from the program I got to know about this class. So I'm here basically because I want more information that I know can move me forward, particularly in the business I do.
The Hexavia laws of business is a collection of timeless principles, extremely deep principles that will help businesses turn into world-class brands. As a matter of fact, the idea is to move ideas into prospects, into projects, and most importantly, products that will become profitable as businesses and then become world-class brands for local people. We spent 3-4 years trying to understand why businesses fail in this part of the world, and as well as having a case study and understanding of the few businesses that have been able to succeed. So the most important thing is what are those entities that you need? What are those factors? What are those principles? Are there laws to business? Is there things that people fail and then on the ripple effect it causes a downfall of their businesses or their ideas? I mean, principles like vision, like branding, like purpose, like generosity, like profitability, like demography, strategy, management, creativity, innovations, legacy. Those are all laws that people do not understand. And if you understand the core of all that, I mean, you need to understand how to add value profitably, and there are basic steps you need to understand.
So when a policeman stops me on the road, I know what to tell him, and I know that he's asking me the wrong questions, and we just don't know. That's why we're at the mercy of everybody. If we know, the entire environment will change. So I think everybody should seek knowledge. And the minute we all seek knowledge in this country, things will change. It's that simple.
I think fundamentally, I mean, we can sit down here and have cliche knowledge of what we do or express cliche knowledge of school. But see, school sometimes is not enough for what we want to do. I mean, we're not really physical beings with the spiritual part, irrespective of your orientations on a religious level. We're actually spiritual beings with physical parts. The core of us is deep. And you can't talk about certain principles, not even the Hexavia laws of business, and not talk about deeper principles that support it. For example, the law of sacrifice. You see a lot of sacrifice in religions. I mean, take for example Christianity. And so there's a lot of sacrifice from Jesus to Abraham. There's a lot of sacrifice, and people need to understand the fact that most of the cores of what we do have to be deep. So we don't want to just do trainings. We don't want to raise people who are just shallow and who just want to make profit. You need to be able to add extreme value from the depth, from the core of humanity. For the reason why we're put here, you need to be able to create solutions that move people further ahead. The fundamentals upon which our country or even our world in general was created, it was built on deep principles, and we can't take away those deep principles and expect to do well in business. That's why businesses that do extremely well come with a cost. They come with very deep costs, as it costs to sincerely solve problems. And if you can sincerely solve problems, it's just a matter of time. Because when you do that consistently, people will recognize you. You will be rewarded. And that reward is what we call profitability. And it's key that people understand that. So yeah, I draw a lot of my inspirations from depth and from spiritualism, and especially from the Bible, because that holds a lot of platforms, a lot of deep secrets that can actually be borrowed in business.
Like they say, knowledge is power, you know, and when you have power, you're able to add value, make a difference in everything. So there's one of the laws, the law of knowledge, the ability to learn more, be more, know more. Having these laws under your belt, you know, you're able to add value, make a difference. You know, a lot of us don't read in Nigeria anymore. They say to hide something from a black man, hide it in a book. But it made me really realize that how much books have we read? Have we read books that add value to us? Have we read books that empower us? Have we read books that inspire us? So the more we constantly have the quest to gain knowledge, the better we become, the more the nation develops.
I've always heard, and I know that we are in the information age. So, and I know that if we are in the information age, good things like information that I need for my business may not come cheap. In fact, I know that good things don't always come cheap. So there's always a sacrifice to pay. So I am here because I know that if I want something good, I must be able to pay some sacrifice. It could be my money, it could be my time, it could be to leave some things I should have been doing and then come here. So I am here because I know that good things are not actually, you don't actually pick gold on the street, but you can actually be walking on the land or on the ground that has gold underneath. So you will need to dig. I am here to dig deep.
Sincerely, to grow more, to do more, you need to learn more. I mean, If what you've done yesterday still looks big to you today, then you haven't done much today. And how do you do that? Is the fact that you have to learn continuously. And that's the power of knowledge. You need to excite your intellect. You cannot do tomorrow's things or even today's things with yesterday's knowledge. It would not work. It is the fact that for you to be able to do what you need to do, you need to continuously understand the power of knowledge. You need to always learn, unlearn, relearn. It's a continuous process. Knowledge, education, or school is not an event. It's a process. It's not a deal. It's not a one-off. You need to always go further ahead intellectually. This world we're currently on is basically built on internet, on intellect, on things that have to do with information. Literally, we're in the information age, and why we do not even have any excuse not to know at this stage of our lives, because the fundamentals of this world is built on knowledge, and it's all around us. It's very all around us. We can always tap into it. The key to success is intelligence, is intellect, whether it's spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, business intelligence, artificial intelligence, whatever form of intelligence it is, the fundamentals is built on that. And we should be able to understand the fact that you cannot go further ahead of others if you do not go further ahead of yourself intellectually. Let's build an intellectual sanctuary of sound minds who would empower this world and shake the GDP of this country till people can get off that corporate slavery mentality of just trying to get jobs, or being able to create enterprises that would employ people and also add tremendous value to put Nigeria in the league of the emerging countries and emerging brands. Our government might never do that for us. Not even God. God will never do for man what man can do for himself. And it's the fact that we are in that forefront to be able to raise businesses, brands, and people who are intellectually stimulated and excited enough to practically take what they know and turn that into products that will solve solutions, that will solve problems for most of the things that people need. And at that point, would you sincerely say that you have truly successful people who have built world-class brands?